Have you ever been browsing the CSFloat database, doing valuable and in-depth market analysis, trying to get ahead of the economy, when you're met with these ridiculously large estimated skin supplies? Have you ever thought to yourself, are these estimations even accurate or trustworthy? Is there even a way to determine if they are accurate? Well, valued viewer, I'm glad you asked, because there is a way to determine if these skin estimations are valuable or not. In today's video, I will be breaking down the process I used to obtain exact supply numbers for large amounts of skins. I will also be breaking down the percent error of these skin estimations at differing levels of supply, from tens of thousands to millions of skins. By the end of this video, you will know if it is worth your valuable time to meticulously break down the total supply of skins, or just trust the CSFloat estimations. Maybe the answer is somewhere in between. To begin, I chose the 2018 Nuke collection and decided I would obtain the exact supply of all of its pink, purple, and blue skins. I would then compare the individual wear ratings of each skin, the total supply of each skin, and the total supply for entire rarities against the CSFloat estimations. Once that data is obtained, we can then compare the percent error of the estimation compared to the true exact value. You're probably asking yourself, GB, how are you going to get these exact supply numbers for these highly supplied skins? Once again, viewer, I'm glad you asked. CSFloat does actually have exact supply numbers for all of its skins. You just need to narrow your searches until CSFloat provides an exact number. For some wear ratings like Well-Worn and Battle Scarred, an exact number is usually provided. This is because CSFloat provides exact numbers when the search parameter produces less than about 40,000 unique skins. For more populated wear ratings, like minimal wear and field tested, you have to narrow your float parameters to get exact numbers. By the time I was obtaining the supplies for blue skins and field tested, I was increasing my search parameters by just 0.05 to get exact numbers since the supply was so large. I then added up all of the incremental findings per wear rating and compared them to the CSFloat estimation of that wear rating. I continued this process until I had exact and estimated supplies for all the skins at all of their wear ratings. You can see the results of my findings here. Each skin has its actual supply per wear rating in white, and the CSFloat estimation supply underneath. If the estimated supply number is in green, that means the estimation was more than the actual supply. If it was red, it means the estimation was less. If you see exact, that means the supply was so low it did not need to be subdivided for CSFloat to provide an exact number. The number on the far right is the actual supply for the entire weapon, with the estimation underneath it as well. The rightmost information is the actual and estimated supply for the entire quality, including all the skins within that quality. Using all of that raw data, I calculated the percent error of the estimations to the actual supplies. You can see that data here. Percentages in red mean the error was more than 10%. Yellow means the error was between 5 and 10%, and green means the error was less than 5%. The total column is referencing the total supply for the entire weapon compared to its estimated. And the average is the average of all of the percent errors per weapon. You can also see the percent error for the entire quality on the left. I wanted to see if CSFloat has any bias toward underestimating or overestimating skin supplies. For individual wear rating queries, CSFloat seemed to slightly prefer overestimating supplies with a ratio of 16 to 10. For entire gun supplies, CSFloat was split 50-50, with 4 total gun supplies being overestimated and 5 total gun supplies being underestimated. For entire qualities of weapons, CSFloat was consistent, with every quality being underestimated. Remember that the total supply of weapon qualities in this collection is in the hundreds of thousands to millions of skins. So, how accurate was CSFloat? This is what I believe to be the most important conclusion from this video. I charted out the percent error for queries of differing total supply. There is a clear distinction to be made here. Queries of weapon supplies in the 30,000 to 75,000 supply has on average a percent error of 17.18%. This is substantial and shows that there is an appreciable amount of error when CSFloat tries to estimate relatively low supplies of skins. So, do CSFloat estimations get more and more inaccurate as the supply of the weapon increases? No, the opposite is true. As you can see, queries of weapons in the 75 to 150,000 supply gave a drastically improved percent error of 1.4% on average. This only improves as you increase the supply of the query. with queries of 150,000 to 500,000 improving to a percent error of only 1.21% on average. To complete this data and prove that this research was worthwhile, the percent error for queries greater than 500,000 supplies showed a percent error of only 0.73% on average. I had planned to continue this data into the industrial and consumer grade skins of this collection, but the trend became obvious early. And undoubtedly, if you extended this type of analysis out to every collection, the same would be true. CSFloat estimations become more accurate as the supply of the item increases. I think that this is substantial. I believe that a percent error less than 1% warrants our trust in the CSFloat estimations at higher supplies. It is also good to know that it is most likely worthwhile to subdivide smaller quantities of skins in order to obtain true supplies. Let's say exact supplies for items less than 100,000 should be sought out in order to be accurate. I think that this little test proves a fairly large and applicable theory. As I personally plan to branch out into more skin-focused analysis in addition to my sticker applications, I'm okay with the percent error that the CSFloat estimations produce. But I will be continuing to calculate supplies for items less than 100,000 to ensure that I provide accurate information. If you guys found this analysis to be helpful, please consider liking the video, but more importantly, joining my Discord to join the discussions we have surrounding this great game and its great economy. I hope you were able to learn something important and applicable to you today. I am so thankful for your time and attention during this video. Please let me know if you think that there is anything I can improve upon down in the comments, and I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching.